Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. I've got some wild speculation to share with you today, and it's about a potential game changer in the AFC North. You've probably heard the rumors swirling around the league, but this one could reshape how the Steelers approach the offseason and the upcoming season. It's all about Quinnen Williams. Yes, that Quinnen Williams, the dominant interior defensive tackle who's been making waves with the Dallas Cowboys, but now there are whispers that he might be heading to Pittsburgh. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, what? Quinnen Williams to the Steelers? Yeah, it sounds crazy, but hear me out because this could be a real possibility, and if it happens, it would be a massive boost for our defense, especially in the trenches. So let's break down what's going on here. The Cowboys, currently sitting at 7-7 with a cap situation that's pretty tight, about -$0. $3 million are apparently open to resetting their roster. And one of their ideas? Trading Quinnen Williams. They're reportedly interested in swapping him for draft picks and a promising defensive tackle prospect. It's a move that makes a ton of sense for Dallas. They're looking to free up cap space, and Williams, who's making around $20 million a year, could be a valuable trade chip. But for us Steelers fans, this is where it gets interesting because Williams is a disruptive force inside, a player who can really change the game on every snap. Williams, a guy with Alabama roots, has built an impressive career with stats that demand respect. 335 tackles, 41 sacks, 8 forced fumbles, and an eye-popping PFF grade of 90. One so far in 2025. Just think about that for a second. Even with just 8 games played this season, he's already registered 5 sacks and 31 tackles. His overall stats include over 150 assists, 14 pass deflections, and a run-stop win rate of 35%. That's elite production. And what's more, he's been remarkably healthy this year, missing only 4 games due to a knee injury, and in Week 2 he already got 2 sacks. That kind of consistency and explosiveness reminds me of some of the best defensive tackles in recent history, like Suh at his peak or Hargrave's impact when he was with us. Williams has that same disruptive potential, and if he joins the Steelers, he could elevate our entire defensive line. Now let's talk about how he'd fit with the Steelers. We already know that Cameron Hayward is anchoring the line, but adding Williams would push the unit to a whole other level. Imagine a front that with Watt could create chaos in the backfield, pressures would skyrocket, sacks could double, and our run defense would become even more formidable. The stats back this up. If Williams joins us, we're looking at a potential increase of around 15% in pressures, an 18% reduction in rushing yards allowed, and at least 10 more sacks from our defensive line. And with Watt creating pressure from the outside, Williams collapsing the pocket from the inside, our defense could become one of the most feared in the league. Just like in the good old days when the Steelers' defense was the backbone of our Super Bowl runs. It's also worth noting that this kind of move could have ripple effects across the AFC North. The Bengals and Ravens are stacked, but if the Steelers manage to add a piece like Williams, they could tilt the balance of power. Remember last season when we saw the Eagles make a splash with the Hargrave trade? That boosted their defensive line and helped them make a deep playoff run. If the Steelers land Williams, it's not far-fetched to think we could see a similar boost, maybe even elevating us from a good team to a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The odds might shift from +6, 0 to +2, 600, but most importantly, our chances to dominate the trenches and control the game would skyrocket. Now, some of you might be skeptical about such a trade. The Cowboys are in a rebuild mode, and trading Williams would mean exposing their defensive vulnerabilities, particularly against the run, where they've been leaking yards, allowing over 150 rushing yards per game. That's a problem for a team that's trying to stay competitive, especially with a cap situation that's tight. But for the Steelers, this is exactly the kind of aggressive move we need. We're sitting at 9-5, fighting for that playoff spot, and adding a player like Williams could be the final piece to push us over the top. He would join Hayward and Watt, creating a defensive front that's almost impossible to block, forcing quarterbacks into hurried throws, and turning third downs into our favorite down to get off the field. Let's also consider the impact on the overall defense. Williams would boost our run defense significantly, reducing those explosive plays that have hurt us in key moments. His ability to collapse the pocket would complement Watt's relentless pressure, making it nearly impossible for quarterbacks to find comfortable throws. This synergy could turn our defense into a nightmare for opposing offenses, especially in late-game situations. And with the playoffs approaching, having a disruptive force like Williams could be the difference between a deep run and an early exit. But it's not just about the immediate impact. This move could also be about establishing a new culture, one where the Steelers are seen as a team willing to go all in, trading assets to chase championships. It's about sending a message to the division and the rest of the league that Pittsburgh isn't content with just being good. We want to be the best. And if adding Williams can give us that extra edge, it's a no-brainer. I mean, think about the legacy of the Steelers. Front seven, players like Harrison, Tuitt, and Hayward have built a tradition of dominance. Bringing in Williams would keep that tradition alive and push it into a new era. Of course, nothing is confirmed yet, but the rumors are definitely heating up. And if the Steelers pull off this trade, it could set off a chain reaction among the AFC contenders. Teams will have to adjust their game plans, and the Steelers' defense, already solid, could become one of the league's most feared units again. It's a bold move, but in today's NFL, bold moves often lead to Super Bowls. So, Steelers fans, what do you think about this? Would you welcome Quinnen Williams in a black and gold jersey? Do you believe he could be the missing piece for us to finally get back to the summit? I sure do. This kind of upgrade could change everything. The way we approach free agency, the draft, and even how we game plan against division rivals. It's fascinating to think how one player, especially one as disruptive as Williams, could turn the tide of our franchise's fortunes. And let's not forget, the Steelers have a rich history of making bold moves. From the days of Steel Curtain to recent Super Bowl victories, we've always been about that relentless pursuit of greatness. If this trade becomes reality, it would be another chapter in our legacy, one where we don't shy away from swinging for the fences. The AFC North is tough, no doubt, but with a player like Quinnen Williams anchoring our line, we'd be setting ourselves up to dominate for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In conclusion, folks, this hypothetical trade isn't just about adding a star. It's about transforming our entire defense and signaling to the league that the Steelers are back in the hunt, ready to reclaim our place among the NFL's elite. Quinnen Williams could be that game changer, that difference maker who elevates us from a good team to a true Super Bowl contender. We've seen what kind of impact a dominant defensive tackle can have. Look at Aaron Donald or Chris Jones, and Williams has that same disruptive potential. If the Steelers can pull this off, it might be the move that propels us into the next era of glory, reminding everyone why Pittsburgh is synonymous with defense and championships. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news.